Okay, fantastic. All right. Okay. So once again, thank you very much for coming. You know what you're doing. So we're serving a whole lot of people who are in quarantine. They've come in from overseas, and they may or may not have COVID-19. So we don't need to be scared of them. They're going to be in their bedrooms. They're not allowed out of their bedrooms. They're not allowed out of their bedrooms. You won't be interacting with them. They will have their doors closed. If they have their door open, you're not allowed to walk up to their door. Okay? So you're going to be delivering food. If you walk into a corridor and find a door open, there will be a police officer and a military soldier on every floor. You can ask them, please get everyone to close their doors. I'm going to do my delivery run. And the police will expect you to do that. Okay? They do not expect any doors to be open. Alright, so you won't interact with the people. Okay? We are going to give you masks anyway. Alright? It's just a precaution and just to help you feel safe. But there'll be no communication with the people inside the room. You'll walk up to the room and you'll drop the food on a table outside the room and you'll walk away. And that'll be it. Alright? Yes?
Do I have to check they actually get the food?
You don't have to check they get the food. I believe the hotel wants us to do a lap, drop off all the food, you put the food down, you knock on the door, so your food is here, and you run. You don't run, you walk away. Once you've finished the floor, you leave them on the floor. I think that the procedure they want us to follow is, if the people don't come out and take the food, I believe we are supposed to remove the food. And then they will ring reception and say, hey, where's my food? And you'll come back with the food. Okay? That is because apparently they're getting a little bit bored in their rooms and some of them are jumping out and taking someone else's food for fun. So let's just keep the food to ourselves. Your supervisor, your manager is Anna. Okay? So you will go to Anna for everything. If we slip and fall over, we report it. If we slip and don't fall over, we report it. But you've got some other things to think about reporting. If you're standing at the door of someone's room, you're putting their food down, and they open the door,
just say hi.
Go to Anna. Room number, open their door while I was standing at the room, okay?
And just to make sure that this is very important that they don't open the door. In other hotels, there are cases of coronaviruses. So just be aware that this is very important. It's nothing like, oh, someone is standing there and doesn't matter. It really matters. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so if someone opens the door, immediately move away.
Yeah.
The police will be there, the army person will be there. So they're going to be supervising that. But if you get met with a shock, move away from the door quickly and tell the policeman or the army person, that person just open their door, can you make them close the door? Or from way back here, say, could you please close your door? If they say no, walk away. Okay?
Before you even enter the level, you can ask the police if all the doors are closed. And they can just assure, because we cannot see from there when we enter to the level, we cannot see all the rooms. But if someone is inside, we can see. So maybe it's better to have that quick, chat with them. Just make sure that the doors are closed.
But if they open, I can just go step
right. Stay there, please. Could you close your door?
Yeah, and
if they don't close the door,
but
walk
if they
away.
close the door,
If they close the door,
food
put the food down.
and report the.
Report it to the police officer and report it to Anna.
Okay.
Even if they open the door while you're delivering it, report it. They're not supposed to. Okay. We're going to walk up to the door to deliver it. We're going to say to the police officer when we get up to the floor, are all the doors closed, and let them check.
So just so you guys know, every single floor there'll be either a police officer or a military person or a private security guard. Okay, and those people will be in uniform. They will come with you room to room, so there's always a uniform presence with you. Okay.
And what we're going to do as well, we'll speak to the hotel manager to see, if someone comes out and says, I don't want this, I want, a vegan or a dietary. We're going to try and get them to call the hotel on the phone, and then the hotel will give us the list. So we're not really going to be speaking to the guests, but we'll confirm how that's going to work later.
So if you get any questions today, just say, look, can you please call reception and let them know, okay? And then today will be different because everyone's still coming through where we don't know their dietary requirements yet, okay? So we're just going to drop off what we have, okay? So there'll be a little bit of back and forth today, but after today, we should know by dinner time, we should know which room has what dietaries, and then we can organize accordingly, okay?
I think, sorry, Tom,
Yeah.
one thing as well, I think the guests we were speaking to some of the other hotels that have done this, and the guests are going to be quite nervous and stressed about being in a room. So today we might have some people that aren't very happy and things like that. So obviously we'll be there to help, but I think people are going to be very fussy around which food and drinks they want to have. So it's going to be, as I was saying, today is going to be a bit of a test to see how we operate. But I think by tomorrow they'll understand the process and be a lot more comfortable. I think the main thing is obviously we still want to smile at the guests and say, if they're there, say good morning, Happy Easter. But they are guests, but it is also it's a New South Wales Health and Government facility today. So although it's the hotel, we want to be nice to the guests and obviously welcoming, but it's not obviously a 5-star service, but we still need to be very nice, because I don't know if you've seen on the news and on social media, lots of the guests taking photos of the food and complaining, the staff are rude and all that kind of stuff. So we need to be very hospitable and nice, but obviously we need to respect the health environment.
So I said you won't be talking to them. The doors should be closed. We shouldn't have to talk to them. If they do open the door, don't scream, don't be angry. Just step back with a smile on your face. They won't be able to see because you have a mask on, and that's when you say, could you please close your door for your safety and for mine. And if they don't, you walk to the police officer and they will make them close the door. Okay?
So just so you guys also know, sorry Tom to interrupt, other hotels owned by Sheraton already have people in there, so there's some learnings out of that, okay, and they've shared that with us. So the meals are the only thing people look forward to right now, but while they're stuck in the rooms. So they're saying people are there holding onto the door, waiting for someone to come by with a meal, right? So as soon as they see you, they might open the door and say, oh, I'll take it, and you say no, right? Very nicely. So look, for your safety and mine, like Tom just said, can I ask you to please shut your room, sir or ma'am? Yeah, I'll leave the meal outside for you. Once I move away, feel free to open the door and grab it, right? And that's all you need to say. Okay? They want some interaction, they want someone to talk to, but unfortunately that can't be you guys. Yeah?
They can't have anyone to talk to.
And the worst thing is, they don't realize that they're not wearing a mask or gloves when they're in the room, right? So when they open the door, they don't realize that they should be interacting in that sense. So you guys are the defense and say, sir, ma'am, can I please ask that you shut the door? Once I've moved away, feel free to open the door and grab your meal. Thank you. Yeah, and that's it. Cool?
And then once you come back down here, the first thing you do is wash your hands again, okay? Take your gloves off first, then the mask, then wash your hands. Alright, thanks. The next thing I want to talk to you about is we're going to give you masks and we're going to give you gloves. You have to wear a mask and gloves when you go to do your delivery. The mask goes on first, gloves go on second. Gloves come off first, mask comes off second. Now, how do you take the gloves off? With this hand, or whichever hand you want, peel one glove off and it'll become inside out. The inside's not contaminated, it's only contaminated with your own sweat. With this glove, take that glove on the top and peel it off and put it straight in the rubbish bin. The next thing is your mask, and don't forget that your mask is contaminated, okay? So you're not going to touch the front of your mask, you're going to take the rubber band, take it off over your head and into the bin. They're single use, so breakfast you'll have one mask, lunch you'll have one mask, and dinner you'll have one mask and it'll go in the bin, okay? So now, social distancing. We've already talked about that the doors must be closed when you approach the door, but you've also got to remember social distancing from the people around you. Working in the kitchen, as I said, hands out like that, and you'll know whether you're too close. I've already had to walk through there 2 or 3 times, so I'm too close. There are too many people in this kitchen. Same with when you're up on the floors. There is no expectation that you come within 1.5 metres from the other personnel on the floors, okay? And don't forget that if you cough into there, okay? Now, of the space you need to stay away from each other, which I can see right now. If you can't work out the measurement, if you put your hands out like that, and everyone said, look, so you're too close, okay? Yeah. 2 people should be able to stand like that and not touch fingers. Thanks very much. Yourself? Yeah.
We'll try and have a process in place once as we go, okay? So there's 4 of you, so 2 of you might be doing the deliveries, and 2 of you will be packing the next trolley down here, okay? So 2 of you go up, one starts at the bottom floor, one starts at the top floor, and then you meet in the middle, right? So each time you finish one floor, you bring the empty trolley down, pick up another full trolley which your colleagues prepared for you, and you go up and do the next one. Right? And you just keep doing that.
Okay, any questions? Do you have a question?
How many floors?
Oh,
How many floors?
13 floors.
13.
right down. Yeah,
13 floors with 18 rooms on each floor.
All right, if you can just fill out those pieces of paper, and if I missed anything, tell me, okay? I'll grab your pen. You got a pen?
No.
All right, no pen. Oh, do you have a pen in your bag?
I will have a look. Maybe not.
What we'll try and do, there's 4 of you guys.
Yeah, you might as well. Go for it.